Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of A Contagious Smile Unstoppable. I'm so excited to have this unbelievable honor. We tried to record before and it was just not in the cards. Jeff is amazing, amazing, amazing. And today he is giving me the honor, and it is an honor, to spend not only his birthday of turning 21, but he's also 6 years sober today. And this is become somebody who I consider a friend. He's amazing, and I can't wait to go through and tell you all about him. But we're going to give you little nuggets along the way. Happy birthday, my friend, and congratulations on 6 years.
Thank you very much, Victoria. I greatly appreciate that.
Absolutely.
And
Well, tell
it's
everybody who you are. We're going to drop little nuggets along the way.
all right. Hello, everybody. My name is JJ. She referred to me Jeff. It's Jeffrey John, but my friends call me JJ, so that's what I go by. And I am 6 years sober today. I'm happy to be alive and happy to be making positive ripples in the world. And that's my belief is we all put out ripples in the world and we all make an impact in one way or another. And I like to be conscious of what my ripples are and I turn them into positive. And I like to help others do the same.
Well, JJ, you have a story to your life. First of all, I want to thank you for your service.
Thank
You
you.
served a long time in the military, and for that, I want to thank you. You have had ups and downs, to say the least. Where you are today is so inspiring. I know so many people will just grab a hold of this story, and I want to have everybody go out and you'll see what I'm talking about when you hear everything that this gentleman, and I mean gentleman, is doing. What you hear from him is what you get. It is not a facade. I've done interviews where you see somebody is one way and then the minute we stop recording there's someone else. That's not how JJ is, and that's why I'm honored to call him my friend. But let's go back a little bit because you have such a story of survival and healing to see where you are today. Let's go back and tell us how it all started.
Well, first off, I'm just an average Joe.
No, you're not.
And I was raised in an alcoholic family, joined the military when I was 19, and I served for 27 years. Well, during that service, I had a family, two wonderful children, lived all over the world, and was a functional alcoholic the entire time. Um, I did 6 combat tours where the impact is made today in the fact that I made a best friend in Iraq, my first tour, and his name was Commander Philip Murphy Sweet. And we're both Idaho boys, and we met the first week there and became best friends. And I lost him, and the world lost him 2 days after I got home from Iraq. And it's because of him that fast forward many years later, I'm battling with everything life has thrown me. And I am retired, living the high life. Literally, I'm 47, 48 years old, backpacking the world. I have no bills. All my family and friends are taken care of. I have no responsibilities. And I was literally backpacking the world, going from Brazil to Spain to Indonesia. And I ended up in Australia. And I went there to surf, and you'd think that'd been the happiest time of my life. But no, I was suicidal and almost took my life. But my kids and Philip Murphy Sweet stopped me mentally.
Let's talk about that day because you are on a cliff. And what was going on? Tell me about the day. What started in that morning to make you get to that point? Do you remember?
Um, yeah, well, the cliff was a condo. I was on the fourth floor, and that day I woke up like have been waking up for years, shaking. Um, my body wanting more alcohol, me looking for alcohol. There wasn't any because I drank it all the night before. Nothing opens up for a couple more hours to get any. And I'm standing up on it and I wanted the pain to end and I was going to take a swan dive. I just I was done. And my kids, they made me pause. And then I thought of Philip Murphy Sweet and the fact that he gave his life for our country, something I'm willing to do and was willing to do, but it wasn't me. And here I am what am I doing with my life? I'm about to throw it away. So I didn't. I stopped. And it wasn't a click. It wasn't um, from that point on, it was better. No, it just stopped, kept me from going over the edge, falling off that cliff and killing myself.
Mm.
And instead, I battled. I found a place, got some alcohol, drank it. I kept processing. A few days later, I fell on my face with a backpack in front of a restaurant full of people. So embarrassing. You know, you walk up to a hotel and they have a big fancy restaurant that overlooks the promenade or whatever. Yeah,
Yeah.
I was the guy, the tourist with the big backpack that fell on his face and couldn't get himself up. I grabbed my phone and I was asking for help. And I dialed 911 and it doesn't work in Australia. But for the first time in my life, reached out and asked for help. It
Mm.
was an emergency.
Mm.
And even though 911 did not work and it did not connect, it clicked for me in the fact that Murphy was with me, my kids were with me, and I was with me. And I finally thought to myself, I've been a hero to so many other people. It's about time I picked myself up. And I did just that. I said, I've got you. I love you, Jeff. I'm not going to let you suffer anymore. We're going to get through this together. There's a better road ahead. And I started. It took a long time. I mean, it took months and months, but I've set a date of my 50th birthday to make it happen. And sure, kidding you not.
It's okay. You can say that.
I'm sure kidding
You can say
not.
that.
I got sober 6 years ago today.
That is amazing.
Oh,
What are you going to do today to celebrate?
I am going to go walk on the beach and go snorkeling. I watched the sunrise this morning over the ocean. I've been blessed enough. Some friends of mine invited me to their home in Hawaii that I've been working from. And it's just, I have so much positivity in my life and I'm so grateful. So I'm spending today with gratitude.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, beside this amazing story, you have also had some really other difficult times, which I know doesn't make life easier along the way. And when I first met you, I was told about that you, and it's not funny, but when I heard about it, I was like, what? That a pair of socks saved your life. And I was like, wait, what? There's got to be something more to this. And then the more and more I got to know you, you're as authentic as you are. Like, I just want to stress that for people because I have really met some people that just aren't
Right,
what they say.
right,
So
right.
yeah, so here you are, and it just you have to tell the story because it almost I can't get over the fact that literally it was a pair of socks that saved your life. And
Yes.
I don't think and I am a survivor of domestic violence, and my ex was military. But see, I say all the time that there are bad apples in every orchard, and I got the really bad orchard. So, I mean, I can't say enough thank you for your service because, you know, you did go over to serve our country. You are the epitome of a hero. And, people say, how can you like military after what you went through? I don't dislike all the military. I just dislike this one little platoon that didn't do what they were supposed to do. So again, before you tell your story on the presidents, how much I
Oh,
appreciate all that you've done for our country, and people do not give you guys the recognition that you deserve.
well, thank you. Thank you very much, Victoria, and everybody. And I am so honored to have been able to serve side by side with so many heroes of my life. And Philip Murphy Sweet being one of them.
I can see he's very impactful in your life.
Oh,
Whenever
for
we've
sure.
talked about him, yeah, I see it all over your face.
For sure.
Absolutely.
For sure. Idaho boy, he had 3 kids and I had two. And every Monday night, he and Nicole Ammon, a friend of ours, we'd all get together and we'd smoke cigars and talk about the week. And he was higher ranking than I was. I was a captain at the time and he was a commander. And so I looked up to him and then just became friends and it was so beautiful. Um, and then to have him taken too soon was tragic. And then so now it's an opportunity to make positive ripples in the world in his name and in
Right.
mine. Just do, yeah. do
Yeah,
do good.
you're living on his legacy.
What's
Really.
that?
You're living on his legacy by talking
I am.
about him and keeping his image alive. And that's amazing. That's amazing. I am sorry for your loss. I know that's not easy.
Oh, I'm sorry for his family's loss.
Absolutely.
Everybody.
Yeah.
Um,
So tell me about the socks.
all right, let me set the stage. It's
Set the stage.
it's Baghdad, Iraq. Excuse me. Um, the date is January 23rd, 2007. I just got done working like 15 hours and I looked at my boss, said, "Hey, I haven't done laundry in a week. I need to go home and do laundry." He said, "Go." So I ran home and in I am working and living in the IZ, the international zone in Baghdad, where we get bombed all the time. I mean, this period of time, we probably got mortared 3 or 4 times a day, and it'll be two mortars, and or there'd be days that go off without one, but very rare. So this was a day like no other. And yes, it's January 23rd and it's 90 degrees. It's Iraq. It's dusty. I run home. I throw my laundry in. I'm getting ready to do it. But earlier that day, during lunch, when I went to the gym, I was working out with a friend of mine, and I looked at his socks and they were all white. I mean, I looked at and I was like, "How do you keep your socks white?" Because mine have turned brown. They were white when I bought them, the little short socks. And he goes, "Well, you turn them right side out." And I was like, "Huh, all right, well, yeah, I don't. Maybe I will next time." So
Hmm.
when I got back and I got home, and these dormitories that I was in were like Motel 8s, and they
Okay.
had the walkways on the outside.
They kept the
And
light on for you.
he's right, please. I went to the end of the building and walked up the stairs on the end of the building and then down into the laundry facility and threw my laundry on the dryer, was going to scoop it in the washer and close the lid and walk out. But I stopped. And instead, I paused and I turned 3 pairs of socks right side out. And then I scooped it in, did the laundry, and started heading back out. I got to the door to walk out, and the mortar hit the end of the building. It knocked, I mean, it was so loud. It just, it rocked my world. And then the other one hit another building. And I came out, looked out, and saw the smoke at the end of the building that I just came up, and I was going to head that way when another guy comes out of his room and says, "Hey, Joe was in his room." And I realized the mortar hit the end of the dormitory in Joe's room, on the wall of his room. So I run down there, and the guy next door comes out and he starts hitting on the door. Um, it's locked. We can't get in. It's bulletproof and blast proof, but the window was right there, and I started kicking in the window with my heel and my boot. It was blast proof. The building is cinder block. I ended up breaking the entire frame of the window out of the wall, the cinder block wall. I don't know how, I just did. And threw that over and pulled the drapes back. And I saw Joe sitting on his bed with a brick, literally a brick sticking out of the side of his left head, right above his ear. And the look on his eyes were like, "What is happening?" And he was half on his bed, sitting on it with his arms outstretched like Frankenstein, going, "Help me." And I reached around, unlocked his door, and I went to open his door, and the medics did it for me. I mean, no sooner did I have that door locked. 2 seconds later, the medics were walking through it with a stretcher, scooped him up, got him down and onto the back of a truck and into the hospital for rescue. And it was about a day later, 2 days later, I finally got in touch with the doctor who worked on him, and he said that Joe was within a minute or two of dying from the swelling on his brain. Had it taken any longer, he would not be with us today. And
Is
he
he
was in
still
a
with us?
coma and sent off to Landstuhl, which, from what I heard, he had recovered and went back to the States. But that is all I know. And from that day forward, I wish if there's a listener out there listening right now that knows Joe that was injured January 23rd, 2007, in Baghdad, Iraq. I would love to find out how he's doing.
Right. If you guys do have any idea or can find out, reach out to me and let me know, and I will get that information expeditiously to JJ. I would let him know. It would be so amazing to do this for him, for all that he's done for us. So if you guys do know of a gentleman who served in Baghdad in January 23rd of 2007, please reach out to me. Let me know how we can get in contact with him. This is the least that we could do to honor JJ for all that he has done. So even if you don't know and you know someone who knows, let's move this domino effect and make it happen.
That's beautiful. Thank you.
Of course, of course.
Oh,
So how did you deal with did you go through, I'm sure, PTSD and
oh my God, that night has been relived in my head 1,000 times. I wondered. It was funny because the after he got scooped, one of the British soldiers was yelling at me to get out of there. He was cussing me out that I was in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I walked around and I was in a fog. I
sure.
was in shock. I remember standing in the middle of the smoke in the middle of rocks and people were running around left and right. It was like I didn't even exist. Um, I've had therapy. I've had a lot of bottle therapy, trying to cure myself with alcohol, which I found that is the last thing you need. That is the last thing you need.
So what's the
Um,
first thing you need?
to love yourself.
And how did you start doing that?
I picked myself up that day, and a good friend of mine helped me discover taking care of yourself. And once it clicked, I literally I saw a video of a therapist who gave some great advice, and I started. And I walked up to the mirror and I looked at myself in the eyes, and I told myself that I loved me, and I said, "I've got your back." And I finally meant it. And then I realized that I've got to take care of my body because my body is taking care of me. And so my spirit decided to say thank you to my body and vowed that that I would do the best I could to take care of my body from this point on. And I've done a pretty good job. Um, but we can always do better. But it's like after that, I had this new mission of helping myself out. And in doing so, I've been able to help others, my family included, because I love myself enough to stop abusing myself and stop beating myself up with alcohol, with negative thoughts, with my verbal abuse. We always beat ourselves up more than we would anybody else. And I've always thought, why?
Yeah.
When
Did
we
the
should pick.
military help you at all with the PTSD?
Yes, I've had therapy. The military is, I've been assigned a therapist and have had years of seeing off and on. The VA has been great. I have nothing but rave reviews for the VA and the military. Now that I'm retired, oh yeah, I mean, even I've loved because the military is full of good people trying to do good things. They really are. We're full of heroes.
So tell me what you decided to do to help others, where this all started.
Wow, that is the beauty.
It is so beautiful.
So now that I'm conscious, alive, sober, and I've noticed a ripple in my life that my kids are with me now, my grandkids, my family, my friends, and I started listening to my intuition, and I ended up in Maine. It's quite a long story, and I ended up buying a property that's 11 acres. It's this old farmhouse, two-story farmhouse with a barn and a detached garage that I bought not knowing why. It was just it spoke to me.
Mhm.
I was living in my RV in the detached garage for the month, for the first winter I lived there. It was 10 below zero.
Wow.
And I lived entirely through the winter in that RV because the house had tenants in it at the time. Since the tenants have moved out, I had listened to my intuition and thought, you know what? I'm retired. I can do anything I want. And I have. I have spoiled myself. I've traveled the world. I've done everything possible. I'm taking care of my kids and everybody. But the service before self is it is my who I am, my values. Integrity first, service before self, and excellence in all we do are the Air Force core values that I've adopted and lived. And here I am living them still. But I came to me, you know what? I can make a business that gives more than it receives because I have this property that I bought and I can turn it into an Airbnb retreat and a wedding venue. I had a vision of the whole backyard being filled up with hundreds of people because the property is so beautiful.
It's gorgeous. That's an understatement. It's absolutely gorgeous.
And I am in that process. I am 2.5 years into it. The barn and house all together, once it gets remodeled, will have 9,000 square feet of usable space. It is built in the 1830s. It is really good shape. It needs some work. I am doing it. They've put in a stage. I dug a pond in the backyard. The heart-shaped pond that from the tip to the top of the heart is 110 feet long and 80 feet wide.
How
And
long did it
hopefully,
take you to do that?
a month and a half. Well, it took 2 years in the process of getting a front end loader and making whatnot, but it finally got there.
Yeah,
And now we have a big heart-shaped ice skating rink in the winter.
that's amazing. That's amazing. And
But the
what's the
beauty
cool
of,
little Google fact about this?
oh yeah, yeah, I'm looking forward to Googling updating the map so you can see the heart. But
Uh,
the joy of this business, this retreat that I started, I decided to call it Ripple Retreats because of the ripples in my life that have been positive. And I want it in a retreat because a friend of mine told me that he throws a rock into the river all the time to think about weeks gone past in his life and how he's noticed that if it's in a pond that is still, it makes bigger ripples. But if he throws it in a pond that has lots of waves and it's chaotic, the ripples don't go anywhere. Well, that's us in life because
Absolutely.
constantly on function on go. We are doing life. We're living life. Well, if you get a bit of advice that you get from Instagram or Facebook or this reel that you see that's like, man, that's really powerful, then it's gone. And you're trying to better your life, but you can't in chaos. So I'm creating this retreat where you can come have seeds of positive life-changing behavior planted and they can grow. And a friend of mine says, you can count the number of apples in a tree, but you cannot count the number of apples in a seed. And I plant seeds of positive life changing behavior. So once those seeds start to grow and people change and grow in that positive way, the ripples that they give out, you can't measure that. And it's beautiful.
But you haven't told us yet. There's another thing. There's a key component here that is so amazing. I love this so much. Tell me the one thing, like you come to the wedding or whatever. What's the one thing you haven't said yet about this menu?
That once it's all done and up and running, it's going to give 75% of its profit to the town of West Paris and local charities.
Awesome is
West,
that? I told you guys he's so authentic. He's so real. But he also forgot something else. You know how like a lot of families have that what did you call him? That family
oh
member?
yeah. Oh yeah. So yeah. Oh yeah. I'm sorry. Wow, I've missed it all completely.
Yeah, I got you.
Well, Ripple Retreat is a non-alcohol term space, meaning you can hold your wedding at Ripple Retreat, but the number one rule, no alcohol. I'm sorry, you cannot have alcohol on the premise. That way,
Love that.
your Uncle Buck won't show up drunk and ruin your wedding because it is your special day.
Right, right.
Want to be remembered by everybody.
Yeah. Yeah. And you can have an amazing time. I mean,
Oh
we've
yeah.
talked so many times off air and I've never been drunk. I don't drink and you know, I can be goofy without any alcohol, right? I
Right.
can right? So to have that opportunity to have this kind of day where you don't have to worry about some belligerent person coming in there and making a mockery of the day or, whatever the case may be. And not only that, but the retreat itself, you're doing different things besides weddings. What else are
Yes.
you doing?
Yes. So Ripple Retreat, first off, has made a few ripples in the community. So I look at it as I am retired. I'm retired military. I have a pension for the rest of my life. I took care of myself. I'm good. I am good. Anything I get from this point forward, I want to pay it forward. And that's why creating this retreat. I mean, seriously, it's going to be an Airbnb. People's money that is invested for these events, you're going to invest it anyway in the event center next door. But why not invest it into a retreat center that gives it to the community that it's in? And that's what I'm doing.
Wait till everybody gets to see this. You have to look at the pictures when it's ready to go. It's off of a main street, but when you go in the backyard, you feel like you're in the middle of nowhere. Like there's just serenity back there. You wouldn't know that you were little. It's a small town, right? There's only
Yes.
how many?
Yes,
There's
there's
not that many people there.
population in West Paris is roughly 1,700. And I am on the main street on the corner. Everybody passes and it's easy access, great parking. And from the front, it looks like a busy, nice town. And then you
Mhm.
step in the back and it's all woods. And this big, ginormous yard with a pond and trails and waterfalls and streams and peace and quiet. 11 acres. It's pretty cool.
Yeah. So what else is going to be offered besides weddings?
You can rent the place for concerts, retreats. Once I get done in hopefully to no later than 2017, um, you'll be able to rent the house, which will sleep approximately 15 people, and there'll be camping spaces, and you can have retreats there. I'm also hosting recovery meetings there during the week. So Friday through Sunday, it's available to the public for events. Monday through Thursday, it's for the community, for the recovery community and the veteran community, and for me to help my neighbors with their struggles in any way I can.
And where do you see this within like 5 or 10 years?
5 to 10 years, totally self-sufficient. And I am building an apartment on the property that I'm going to live in for the first couple of years. And once it gets up and running, I would like somebody to be able to live at the apartment and manage the property, to run the recovery center, to help facilitate the events during the weekends. And I am looking to have the barn completely insulated so you can use this facility all year long. I am 40, 35 to 40 minutes away from Sunday River, a major ski resort, 20 minutes away from Mount Abram. So it can be used for weekend ski trips, weekend retreats all year long. And Ripple Retreat has been, since I bought it, I've been involved in the community, and it has, well, 2 weeks after I got established as a business, um, my neighbor, Mary Ann Palmer, two blocks down, her house burnt down.
Mhm.
She's 76 years old. She was across the street at a friend's house having dinner and looked across and saw that her house, her farmhouse, was completely engulfed in flames and burnt completely down. And she lost everything.
Mhm.
She didn't have insurance because old farm homes here, if you can't keep up with the maintenance, they become uninsurable, which is what had happened. So here she is now living with some friends, and the community came together and started raising money to and awareness and donations to help build her a new house. I mean, local excavation company came in and removed all the debris. They cleared the land. Another company came in and through some friends, they poured her a foundation of a house. And then others came together and started building it. And I held a concert June 25th, 2022, where we all came together as a community and two bands played and donated their time. And we had a great time. All said and done, we raised enough money and awareness and volunteers to build her a brand new 1 bedroom, 1 bath house that she moved into 11 months after the date that her house was burnt down, all through donation, 100% through the community.
I love it. I love this. This is
So
so,
I know I found the right place.
yes. Do you go by and see her and see how
I
she's doing?
do. Well, she's kind of a recluse. She she doesn't talk. She waves every once in a while, but no, I know she's happy and she's
Yeah.
has a nice.
See, that's amazing. That is so amazing. But what is your vision for the Ripple Retreat? What would you like to see happen with it?
I would like to see people host retreats there, yoga retreats, meditation retreats, uh, life coaching retreats, weddings, and events that are positive and alcohol free and help their neighbors and just help spread the positive ripples in the world, um, through through your donations and through attending events. I did
Any
have
hope for having multiple locations?
yes, I would love in the future. I see what you're getting at. Uh, well, Ripple Retreat is repeatable, and I would like to so-called franchise it. I would love to see a Ripple Retreat in every state. And why not? Why not build Airbnbs? Because once it's paid off and it's self-sufficient.
Yeah.
It really is. The maintenance cost on it, and to have somebody living on property taking care of it, it's like almost a hotel, but it's just a beautiful retreat that pays it forward. And one of the things, since I did wander the world and I am a nomad at heart, I came close to being homeless. I technically was homeless when I was wandering the world. Um, and I've made connections and I know that there are really, I want to help the homeless. So as a company, Ripple Retreat, I vow to help one homeless family help themselves off the street a year by finding a family and giving them the resources and helping them help themselves by showing them and helping them get there, and then follow up, not just say, here you go and you're on your way, but no, welcome to the family, and I want to adopt you, to bring you under Ripple's wing, and let's try and see how you can grow in life and get you off the street and your family so you can take care of yourself and your loved
Absolutely. How can our platform and our viewers and followers help? What can we do to get? I don't want to be behind you. I want to be with you. How can we
ones.
work with you to help make this come to life?
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Victoria. I am currently working on, I have a website. It's a beautiful website, but I am currently in the works of upgrading it. And once it is upgraded and the new one is launched, you'll be able to get a better picture of Ripple's story, my history, what Ripple is today, and what I see it being in the future, because it's not open yet for business, to rent. Uh, and once it gets there, it'll, so in the meantime, on the website, I want you to be able to reach out and volunteer, to not donate, because that brings up a good point. I am not a nonprofit. I don't want board members to all discuss and get uptight about giving away the money. I want to be able to give it away. So I am a for-profit
Have
for the
donations without that.
contributions. So, or just donations, but understand it is not a tax write-off. It is a contribution to making a difference in the world.
Right.
Uh, so you're giving, and that's what is beautiful. And I'm looking for donations, for contributions, for help. I'm going to provide pages for people that have resources for the recovery community, because I have two podcasts out there, one called What's Your Ripple and another one called What's Your Recovery Ripple, which all highlight people's stories of ripples in their life of positivity from either somebody touching their life in a positive way or getting sober and making a whole new life for yourself and hearing those stories. And um, I'm sorry, I just lost the train of thought on that. I'm
Talking about
human.
your two podcasts and the two different podcasts you have.
Oh yeah, and the donations that I'm trying to generate,
Contributions.
the contributions. Because right now, Ripple Retreat, I have rooms to remodel, I have a yoga studio to build, I have a barn to wrap, I have approximately $500,000 worth of improvements to do to the property to make it perfectly ready to be self-sufficient. And in doing so, I have gone back to work. I am working 40 hours a week remotely, sinking everything I'm making into it. I am. That's on top of my retirement. So I'm like, why not? I can't physically do the work. So I'm going to go back to work and pay somebody else to do that. And the website is part of it. Um, and on there, I'm going to be asking for people to help in
Is
this
think
cause.
about all the people that have the ability to do carpentry, electrician, plumbing, any of those things like that. And think about it. They can come out and help put this together and give back to the community because everybody has to start somewhere. Everybody has gotten
Yes,
where they are because of one thing or another. It's just like, when Faith, my daughter, interviews like celebrities, she's like, I put my pants on just like you do. And if you didn't have the backing of people, you wouldn't be where you are today. So
right.
there's a lot of people who need a serious wake up and a big cup of humbling. And if you are out anywhere near this gentleman, you need to put on your big boy pants, get a cup of humbling, and go over there and help. Go over there and make a difference because you never know. One day it could be a cousin, a brother, a son, or somebody who needs this man's knowledge and expertise, and he's going to be there for you. Because I'm here to tell you, every time I've reached out to him, he has reached back out to me, and he's amazing, and he's genuine and authentic. And I know I sound like a broken record, but it's because it's real. And in today's times, that's incredibly hard to find.
I want to piggyback on that because I'm looking for sponsorship,
Mhm.
and I want to let you know that I put I am true to my word in the fact that I put on a concert this past summer. It's a recovery concert because I've always dreamt of having a fun, sober concert, and why not? So I put on a music festival this past summer, this past June at Ripple Retreat to try and raise money and awareness for Ripple. That went from 11 in the morning to 10 at night. I had
Mhm.
8 acts that played, 4 bands, 3 solo acts, and I had a power hour where I had special guests, and it was all for the recovery community, and it was 100% sober. And the reviews that I got from not only the people who attended, but the bands, the artists. I had one artist choke up with me afterwards saying that's the first time she's ever played to a sober audience that responded and listened to her, and it was so beautiful.
Yeah, yeah,
So, and I do community involvement, I do community cleanups, and I'm paying back to the community while I'm building. And if and I'm looking for sponsors out there, the electrical companies, the plumbers, the people who can donate cash. If you want to sponsor, I am going to put you in the Ripple Retreat family and on my sponsorship wall. And trust me, I will be nationwide. I look to be on Oprah Winfrey's show one day or with Tony Robbins talking about how you can change your life through positive thought and affect others positively and build a company that gives more than it receives.
yes,
Why not? Let's
right.
do it.
Absolutely. Now, JJ, I'm not Oprah, and I'm
I
not
know.
Tony Robbins. I know. And I mean, I do have one or two little followers that,
Yes.
we have a few. I can say we have a few, but
Yes.
I'm gonna call them out because like my husband and I did our podcast and we released it and it's already hit almost 4.2 million in less than a
Oh,
couple of days. So I'm
wow.
calling them out because I don't ask for anything. I never ask for myself. I hear that all the time. I get such grief. But I'm here to say that I will go a step further. I do all sorts of social media marketing. I've marketed everything myself. I've done this from inception by myself, and we have over 40 million followers. And I'll tell you what, if some of y'all take your big cup of humbling and go and get a hold of, if you want to go through me to get a hold of him, I will put everybody in with all of his connections and contact information. I will put all of it out there for JJ. My birthday present to you, I want anyone who reaches out to you and comes and helps you in any way and goes out there. First of all, I want to be one of your sponsors. If anybody comes out there and offers to help and provides electrical work, plumbing work, carpentry, whatever it is you need, and they come out and actually help and make a difference, you let me know and I will promote them worldwide for free. I will put it out there and do that for free. And that is advertisement you truly cannot buy anywhere. It's like, do you want to advertise on the Little League or do you want to go to the World Series? I mean, when it comes to getting in front of a lot of people, we have that. And it's because of the authenticity that we offer, it's the truth that we offer, it's the fact that I will go to bat and fight till the end for people. And I want to do that for you. So, anybody who reaches out to me or to JJ through the show notes and all of his contact information and says, "Hey, I'm a carpenter, I'm a plumber, I'm an electrician, I own a furniture company," whatever the case, whatever it is that can make a difference in this Ripple retreat, and you reach out to him, JJ will let me know, or if you go through me, I will know, and immediately I will promote your business worldwide.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Thank you. Oh
Oh,
my God. That's so,
absolutely.
ah, it is so beautiful. Uh, thank you.
Of course.
And right now, my emphasis, my the one website that or the website that I have, there is what's called Buy Me a Coffee on there.
Mm-hmm.
You can go, it's ripple-retreat.com. You can go on there and click on it, and you can make a $5 contribution or a 10 or a 20 or whatever. So if nothing else, if you want to support this vet in making a difference in the world, buy me a coffee, please.
Well, let's break that down because he's a vet and we wouldn't be where we are today without them. And on top of that, a coffee, even the small coffees now are like $6. So let's round up because I love math. We're going to round up to 10. And if you want some humbling and you want a slice of humble pie, I want 25. And so you have to go donate 25. We can have a contest, see who donates the most. And if you want, I'll make it even better. I'll make it even sweeter for Jeff's birthday. And if you go and anybody who donates 500 or more, then you can come on and show your true self and how this ripple effect made a difference for you on a podcast. I haven't even told this to JJ. I'm surprising him left, right, and center. We will bring you on and you can do a segment with JJ and I on our podcast, and we will make it on TikTok and we'll put it everywhere and we will make you fabulous, fabulous, famous. You have to donate a minimum of $500 to him or $500 worth of your time helping him with whatever he needs on his facility. And then anybody who comes in and actually does things to help the facility get up and running, I will also promote worldwide. So get off your butts. Realize that without men like this, we wouldn't be here today. He is a vet. He is genuine. He is sweet. He has accomplished so much. He has given back, and now it's time for us to give to him. He made sure that we have the very freedom we have on us today. And it's because of people like him that we are able to offer these retreats and ripple effects. And him giving me his friendship, which I've made him promise me would be for life, and I'm going to hold him to it, is the best ripple retreat effect for me. And if we can get out and help him and help these other vets who have gone through hell in a handbasket and they still got up every day and put their boots on, they still got up and stood post and they did everything that they're supposed to do, it is our turn to turn around and take care of them. And we need to get off our ass and do it.
Totally agree. Thank you. Oh my God. And you're not contributing to me. You're contributing to Ripple Retreat. And I'd be honored to update you everyone on how much money we're raising and what I'm doing with it. Dollar for dollar, I will show you how it goes into Ripple Retreat to create something that gives back to the community.
Yeah. And JJ's
You
not blowing smoke. What he says he'll do, he does.
Yes, ma'am. Oh, 100%.
Yes.
Integrity first.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So even if you are a vet or you know a vet or a family member is a vet, do it in their honor. If you, God forbid, you've lost somebody who served in the military, do it in their honor. Do it in their honor because I'm pretty sure that they would have done it if they were here. So let's do this because they elect to go into the service. They elect to go stand post. They elect to go over into these other countries and put their life on the line so that we can live our happy life here. And we take that for granted every single day. And remember, this is coming from a woman who went to death's door at the hand of a military soldier. And I advocate for the ones that aren't the bad seeds, and he is not the bad seed. And so we need to do something to help them for everything they've done to help us.
And to all the men and women out there who are serving today, and for those who have served or are going to serve, thank you. My hat's off to you. I'm honored to be part of your family, and I'm here to help you as well. And if you are struggling and you are sober curious and you want to reach out to me, please do. I've helped 3 friends get sober in the past 6 months, and it has been so beautiful. And we're in touch every day, and they are doing so good. And it's just amazing. So I am here to help you help yourself. So please help me help you.
Absolutely. I mean it. And I'm going to be that broken record because people know that until I start seeing it, I'm going to be like constantly reminding everybody, hey, I haven't heard from JJ today on what's going on, what's new, and what's being offered. So, let's go chop chop. Like, yeah, I can get a little annoying. I think it's the red hair. I think so.
You are beautiful, Victoria, and you and your family. Oh, thank you
Oh,
much
thank
for.
you. Thank you. That's so sweet. That makes my day. I'm trying to make your birthday. It's not the other way around.
Oh. I'm glad to be
Even
alive.
even though you're in Hawaii. And he sends me pictures, folks. Like he sends me pictures, and it's like 6 inches of snow, here and 8 degrees. And he's sending me pictures of the sunset on the beach. And I'm like, I'm gonna use my mom words because he's such a good friend and he's amazing and he's wonderful. But it's like, you're poking the bear just a little bit because I've never even been to Hawaii. Like I haven't been on vacation in 20 years. So it's kind of tough, but I'm just saying. And I'm going to go a step further. When you're ready to launch your podcast, I'm actually also going to talk about our podcastathon that we're doing. And that is an amazing opportunity. We've been reached out to and asked to do this podcastathon. And anytime we mention the podcastathon in any kind of social media post or podcast that we do prior to the actual release of the actual genuine podcast for them in regards to the charity that we're doing it for, they promote it all over worldwide. And so I am going to make sure that when we do the next one involving the website, that because it has to be like G rated without the violent words, and I've cursed a little bit, but we're going to mention podcastathon in there, and we are going to get that out there so that they sponsor and promote you in this website as well, and that gets out worldwide as well. So maybe you get a couple more from there.
That'd be awesome. Thank you.
Of course.
Oh, so
So
blessed. So
any good
blessed.
thoughts you want to leave us with before you go have fun on your birthday? What are you going to have
Well,
for dinner for your birthday dinner?
I'd be. I'm with right now is Pink Feather Foundation. So what I'm going to do once I'm up and running and giving 75% of the profit away, I'm going to give like half of it to the town and half to a charity, and one charity a year. So the first charity is going to be the Pink Feather Foundation, which the pinkfeatherfoundation.org, go online, is a great foundation that collects clothes for children.
Love it.
It's Teachers can go online on the website at pinkfeatherfoundation.org, and they can shop for clothing for the children. So if the teacher sees John or Sue that they can't afford anything decent, they can hold them after class. They can go shopping, pick out the clothes they want. The Pink Feather Foundation boxes it up and sends it to the school, and they get it the next week.
Well, make sure you give me that address as well in when you email me all of the possible links, and we're going to put that out there for everybody as well.
Thank you.
Of
Now,
course. What are you having for your birthday dinner?
I haven't even thought about
I'm guessing
it.
seafood, maybe.
Maybe, maybe.
Maybe. Do you know I've
Mm,
never had a steak in my life? I've never
wow.
I have not had any. I don't have steak. I've never had, let's see, I've never had ribs. I've never had steak. I've never had shrimp, lobster. I've never had a hot dog. I've never had a hamburger. I'm gonna get so much hate mail. I've never had a hot dog or a hamburger. I'm
Well,
so plain.
sounds like we need to get you out to Hawaii, you and your family out to Hawaii to have surf and turf
You
for
know,
dinner.
remember that 80s song, You Don't Drink, You Don't Smoke, What Do You Do? That's like my song because I'm boring. I don't
Right?
do any of that. Never had roast beef or my husband likes to go hunting, and I'm like, if you even consider bringing any type of deer, it's not coming in my home. Like, it's not. We can be in the woods and call it a day. Like, it's just not
Yeah,
going to happen. And he's like,
yeah.
I hunt, and I'm like, well, if you want to hunt for something a whole better than a deer, you're not bringing it home. Like, no, I just can't. Like, he's
Right.
cooked it here once, and it's a smell you can't get out of your system. It's so yeah, I'm pretty boring. Yeah,
Oh,
I don't drink, I don't smoke. I've never smoked pot. I've never done drugs. I'm really boring. I'm a very boring person.
no, you're not. You're not boring. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Victoria, you're beautiful. Thank you so
Oh,
much. Thank you so much. You and your family. Ah, and Mike and uh, your beautiful, beautiful daughter, Faith. Thank you. A contagious smile indeed. Indeed.
that's
Ah,
amazing. Thank you. So go ahead, give us your last thought here as you celebrate your amazing
yes.
birthday. 6 years sober. Again, on behalf of myself, my platform, my family, we thank you for all that you are, all that you've done, all that you stand for. Congratulations. I will have you back and we'll celebrate another 6 years. We'll celebrate every decade along the way. It's my honor to be your friend.
Thank you. Likewise, likewise. Thank you. And to all the listeners out there, I just ask that you do one thing for me to pause, love yourself, and be aware of your ripple. Thank you with love and gratitude, JJ.
Thank you, everybody. We'll talk to you soon.